Hello, hello. Welcome to Story and Sketch Live with Pamela. I'm Pamela with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. If you're joining me today for the live, say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from. And if you're watching the replay, I would love to know that as well. Leave a comment and I will be sure to respond. So, how's everyone doing today? Hope your Wednesday is going well so far and your week. Happy hump day. So, say hello, give me a thumbs up, let me know you can see me and hear me fine. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Sharon from Maryland. Excellent. All right, I'm excited for today's memories. Let me get up. I was having some issues with my printer, my new printer. Again, one of the nozzles, I guess, was clogged. So I had to do some cleaning on it. Well, I just had to push some buttons and it cleaned it for me. But I did get my journaling printed, got it all fixed. And let me get this off of here real quick. Yeah, I'll trim that down just a little bit and we'll use that. And then I also am going to be doing a flip flap. So I have some 4x6 journaling here as well to go in my flip flap. So lots of journaling today for our story and sketch. And I shared at the end of Monday's live that I was going to do a scrapbook page today about ramen noodles, ramen, like homemade ramen and ramen from the restaurant. Good morning, Cherise. Thanks for joining me here. And we are using this week the Botanical Textures Designer Series paper. And here is all that beautiful paper. If you weren't here on Monday, let me show this again real quick. It's all like pretty much the color scheme is black in this particular paper. So I'm bringing in some of the 23, 25 in colors that are retiring. So if you want any of those Stampin' Blends, ink pads, cardstock, twine, embellishments, re-inkers, now is the time to grab them because some of them I think are already out of stock, like maybe this beautiful boho blue. But in the Scrap and Create kit this week, you'll receive 6x12 sheets of each one of the patterns. Let me flip that over so you can see all of those as well. So many directions that I could actually go with this on Monday. Let me find my pages. They're in here somewhere. I'll share those real quick with you. If you didn't see Monday's pages, let me just walk through that real quick. Good morning, Flo. Hello, Debbie. So we got Debbie from Texas and Debbie from Florida. So these are the pages I created on Monday. Did some random stamping over here with like first generation and second generation. There's That's a close to my heart term. We used it in like first, second, third generation stamping. Stamping off, I think, is what Stamping Up calls it. And so stamp it in full strength and then stamp it again without re-inking it. So we created this border over here. And if you did join me Monday, you'll notice I ended up adding some splatters with my stamping blend in dark basic black. And I just used a bone folder and tapped the brush end and got these little splatters that just added a little something. I did that on both sides over here. And Grateful Heart, Happy Life. And we used the Moody Mauve, Wild Wheat, and Boho Blue, and some of the twine. And we pulled the twine, or the jute is what it's called, apart. And then this is some of the brand new ribbon that is included in that Botanical Texture suite of products. So we used a couple of the small frames or the dies there and just documented a sweet day Jeff and I had in the moments we enjoy, just the two of us together. The quality time is what I call it. That is my primary love language, quality time. So I love it when we can just go and enjoy time together, whatever we're doing. And then you'll also receive in your Scrap and Create kit coordinating cardstock. So you'll get some of each of the colors of cardstock in these colors right here. I think I'm only gonna include 6 by 12 sheets because so far I've used it kind of sparingly, the cardstock. And but you'll get one of each sheet or one of each 6 by 12 sheet. And then wild willow cardstock for your scrapbook bases for Monday and Wednesday. And then we'll use some more of that colored cardstock for the fun folds on Friday. Okay, and then you'll get a little bit of the twine, the jute, along with some embellishments. And then I think it's over here, that ribbon as well. Okay, so that's what we're working with this week. This is our suite of products, our Scrap and Create kit we're working from. Let me kind of put that back together so I can keep it all together. And check this out, y'all. I got the new catalog in yesterday, and I have extras. So I know Debbie's going to have one coming to her in a few days. Both Debbies. Let me know, Debbie Garrett, if you need a catalog. And let's see. I can't show you the inside of it. All I can show you is the front, but I did do a unboxing of the products that I got. Oh, and today, probably shortly after the live, I'll be getting my third artisan box, and it's going to be a big box. It's like almost 12 pounds from what UPS says. So they're going to stock us up on some basic supplies like adhesives and cardstock, the new 25, 27 in colors, which I have. Well, I'm not going to dig it out. I got um, the markers in yesterday, just the Stamp and Write markers. I grabbed those. So I don't think they're going to be in our inbox. I mean, our artisan box. So I will share an unboxing with you maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Good morning, Rhonda. Thanks for joining me from Georgia. All right. So don't forget about the Scrap and Create kit. You can get it for free with a $50 order through my Stamping Up website. There's details and a link in the description about all of that. And my weekly newsletter, which I'm still struggling with, but I did send out an email yesterday morning about the Paper Pumpkin PDF file that's available for the March 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. So if you're on my newsletter list, look for that. There's a link to the PDF website I have for all the Paper Pumpkin Creative PDF files. If you're subscribed to Paper Pumpkin through me, you will get that PDF file for free, or if you're a team member of mine as well. And then you'll also see that our supplies, a list of supplies today that we will be using. And I think that's it. All right, so let's get busy creating. Get back to where I need. Oh, Debbie's excited about the kit. She placed her order yesterday. So she's going to get this Scrap and Create kit this week. Just making sure I wasn't missing anybody going through the comments. Looks like we got some on Facebook, some on YouTube. So you may not see all the comments depending on where you're at. All right, so let's get busy. Um, I wanted to do a story about Bevyn's love of ramen. She is my super picky eater. She's never eaten a hamburger in her life because she doesn't like the texture of hamburger meat. She's my chicken nugget or chicken girl. She'll eat um, chicken nuggets, chicken thighs, like bone-in chicken thighs. We do that almost every Monday night is what I cook, just a easy meal to cook. And then she has expanded her taste buds to she'll eat steak and she'll eat brisket. She just doesn't like the ground up meat. And so it still kind of slays me that she loves ramen with all the interesting things that are in there. Now, she doesn't like the mushrooms they put in it, but she'll eat just about everything else that's in it. Maybe not the seaweed if they throw that in there too. But maybe when she was about, 12 or 13, I think is when she fell in love with it. I'm going to guesstimate. She's 17 now. And so when we would go into San Antonio, we'd not all the time, but some of the time we would hit the ramen restaurants. Most of the time it was Chick-fil-A. And I guess last school year and into this school year, this first semester, she is a senior this year. She um, had braces, so we would go over to Kerrville for her orthodontist appointments. They don't have ramen over there, so it would be Chick-fil-A. But if we head to San Antonio, we check out the ramen places. And I think there's one in San Angelo as well. Good morning, Debbie. How are you? I have no idea. Just a texture thing, I guess. Oh, good memories. All right, so this particular trip right here was last fall when we went to her first college visit at Texas State University. And afterwards, we looked up to see if they had any ramen places, and they have one right across the street from the university. Lucky her. So you know where she'll be eating a lot if she can afford it. So, and they have a Chick-fil-A in the university and a lot of other things that she loves. So Anyhow, we found this little restaurant. We went in there and ate it. It was really good. Now, I decided to do my photo in black and white because you'll see in printed that there's lots of color going on in there, and none of the colors really go with these right here. So that's why I've chosen to do it in black and white. The colors for this particular page weren't particularly necessary. I didn't have to have a colored photo, so keep that into consideration if you're struggling finding photos to go with your paper. If it's not a big deal, you can turn them into black and whites when you have them printed. All right, and I wanted to show you, let me see if I can find the other photo real quick. Probably it's hiding under here somewhere. Give me a second. I wanted to show you what I figured out how to do. All right, so the original photo was this one. Look at her looking down, okay? So I took another photo that I had of her. I didn't print it, I don't think, but it was from a picture of it I took of her when they brought out the appetizers. And I got her to look up and smile at me. So in Canva, I went into Canva and there's a magic, I don't know if it's called capture or what it is, but I was able to like take a brush and go over her face. I went right over around here and I removed her face and it just kind of blurred it out. And then I went over to the other photo with the appetizers and did the same thing with her face and copied it and pasted it. So over that photo, I pasted over this one right here, and it gave me this picture, and you can't even tell. So, anyhow, so I just tweaked it just a little bit. I wanted her to be looking in the camera, smiling, and I wanted the ramen as well. So, if you ever need help with that, let me know. I think I got it figured out, and I might use that more often now. If it works, you can like resize the head and everything if you wanted to. I don't think I did on this one. You can't really tell. Um, because I think she was a little bit closer in the other photo, but it gave me the photo that I needed. All right, so we're going to be using the textured notes here, especially these florals or these foliage, I guess. And we might do this one again too. You are seriously the best. I have a title that I want to use. I'm going to have to look it up again. See, what did I say the title was going to be? Um, I have, where are they at? Over here. These are some of the letters that I have left over from Monday. So I'm going to do a bowl full of memories. And then I have some letters that I've done previously. So I'm going to see what letters I can get out of both of these, and then I'll cut out any extras that I need. And I also have my 1 3/4 inch punch. 1 second. Okay. And I might, this is too big for this. So I might stamp this and cut it out. So maybe it'll be kind of like a um, placemat of some kind. And then I might punch something out to put maybe the flowers or something in the middle. I'm not sure. And I brought this one into, this is part of our trio tags. Let me show you the other. I don't know if I have all of them around. You see, I'm not sure where the other one is. Oh, we used it on Monday. So you can get these 3 tag punches together in a bundle. I used this one on Monday for that little area for making the little tags right here. See that punch? And then I think I'll use this one today because the little hole punch might be too small for any of the ribbon that I use this week. Canva, Canva. Now for that feature, you might have to pay for it. I think I pay $14.99, maybe not that much, maybe $12.99. I can't remember a month for it because I use it every day, all day long. I mean, for all my graphics and everything. But you can do a lot with it for free as well. So just know that you might could pay for it 1 month if you have a particular project you want to do something like that with. Okay, let's get busy. All right. I'm going to move some things around. I want to remember to do that. Kind of the placemat bowl. I'm not going to try to make ramen, but we'll see. All right, so I've already got some things cut, and we'll see how that works. So I loved this pattern. This reminded me of like Japanese Oriental kind of a vibe. So it's going to be kind of like my frame, and we're going to put some white in there. I'm going to stamp on these. This, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then we'll see too. I brought in the um, blends because I might do some splattering as well. Hey, Jana. Yep, I can't live without Canva anymore. Love it. All right, so looking at this pattern, this is a 3 by 12 piece. So I took the 6 by 12 and just cut it right down the center. And I like this leaf coming out over here, but I want to tear it over on this side. So I'm going to flip it over this way because I just do better. And I'm going to tear about a 1/2 inch off and make it a little jagged looking. And I just go slow and tear like that. So that'll add just a tiny texture because we're just going to put that right there. Let's do that. Oh, before we do, let's got to do all the basic stuff, get our removable glue dots and put a dot over on this end and the opposite end. And that's just going to hold our cardstock in place on our mat. And then now we can put this down. So I can totally see using some of these papers, especially the back sides of them, to do some pages about Bevyn's artistic journey. So there's like paint splatters, effects, and wood grain and things. All right, so we're going to do that. And then I'm thinking of something kind of like this on this side. So I want to stamp some of the big floral or the big leaf right here on these. And then I might stamp these on some scraps and layer them over top. And then this one, of course, the photo is just going to go into the flip flap. So if you're not familiar with the flip flaps, these were a close to my heart product that Stamping Up brought over when Close to My Heart closed. And we have them in 4 by 6, 3 by 4, 3 by 3, and 4 by 4. So Debbie just got some, so she has some on the way. They're a page protector material, just like the Close to My Heart memory protectors were. And now Stamping Up carries those as well. It has a flap on here. It's got a little score line like right here, so you can bend it backwards. You bend it backwards so that that adhesive part is hidden. Okay, so you can put in like 2 sheets in here. Um, I only have one photo printed right now. Well, I've got that other photo too, but I didn't document about it. So I'm going to do another photo. I'll need something here on the back, but I haven't done that yet. So, and I think I want this right here on the page. So then I can like it can flip up and we can have either more journaling or a photo. So I'm going to do that. And then I have this photo that I printed on the clear shipping labels that I have that I'm going to put down here so it looks like I printed it on the page. So I'm going to cut that off up here just a little bit. We can go ahead and do that because it's got some sticky on the back. Let me trim it down probably to about where I have. So maybe at 2 inches. Won't get all the sticky off, but all right, so there is that. So we're getting stuff prepped. And this piece I cut 4 by 6, just like the photos, because I think I just want it to be behind, coming out of here somewhere. It brings a little bit of light, but dark. So a contrast from this pattern to this pattern. I'm doing great, Jana. Thanks for asking. All right. Yeah, and this is going to go down here. My title's going to go up here. And I think our stamping will be, we'll just bring in the color right over here, I think. I was thinking about tags and how to incorporate the ribbon, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Now, I might could take the white ribbon and wrap it around this piece after I've stamped it and tied, kind of to hide the stems. So we'll see on that as we move forward. And maybe we'll do some splattering. So of some color over here just to kind of make it cohesive, bring it all in. And I think since on Monday we used these colors right here, I think today I'm going to just use these colors. So I'm using the pebbled path in the cardstock, and then I might just use these two. So a little bit different type of theme. The wild wheat is the one that we used well, I'll have to pull it out of there, I won't, that we used on Monday. So these three colors, so I'm thinking I might, and I don't, well, I can do these and then not bring those in this time. And then we'll use a combination of all of these on Friday for our fun fold cards. But that way, all the colors will be used for the scrapbook pages that we've done this week. All right, so let me I've got to rearrange a little bit to grab some of my stuff over here. My keyboard pushed away out of the way. And there's one of the stamps. It's still on the block and it's still dirty. Well, my goodness, and maybe if I flip it over, it's like my chamois has already dried out and I went and got it wet earlier. I guess it's been too long and I had it open. So that one's ready to go. And then let's grab. Oh, and I measured this, and this is going to be perfect for like card fronts. It's going to fit on a card front perfectly on Friday. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to pull this out because I know I want to use it. And You are seriously the best. I don't know if I may just stamp that you are seriously the best actually on the um card, the layout base. So I'm not going to pull that out yet. And then I haven't figured out how to use I don't really think I want that in here today. So we'll figure that out on Friday. Um, I want this. Just gonna move some things out of the way and we'll get some of these stamped. Now, this was scrap paper. I printed something that I didn't end up using or want, I guess, on cardstock. So I'm just using the back side of it. These are gonna go in here. These are kind of like our frames. And since I only have two colors to work with, I could use the Pebbled Path too, but since it's on the Pebbled Path cardstock already, I think I'll do this and then copper clay twice. So again, these colors are a little unusual. I don't know if that's the word. Not a go-to I would normally think to use, but now these are cling stamps, the rubber with the cling image on it that'll work with your clear blocks. So we'll do one. And you want to be careful. You might get some ink around the edges, so just when you go, you can wipe it off if you want, but I'm thinking in the middle here, and I'll do each one. So I won't press super hard. Let it sit for a second. There we go. And I want to clean it off real good. Make sure we get everything off the edges so it's nice and clean again. And then we'll do I'm going to keep this handy because I think I'm going to bring in a scrap and stamp the little leaf and we'll have to fussy cut out. Well, not necessarily. Could stamp it off. Might do that. We'll see. Okay, now we're doing copper clay. Maybe I'll be a little bit more careful and not get any on the edges of the rubber. So this one I'm going to tilt this way. Just centering it on there. And I'll do this one the exact same way, I think. All right. So I think I will just stamp right on there, but in second generation. I'm going to clean up after myself. I can put that away. And so I need a piece. I have some a paper pad that we used on. I need to move these out of the way and do these one at a time. All right, so let's just do that. So I'm thinking I'll just kind of go line up the stems as best as I can and do it in second generation. Get the color off and line it up. I want it all to be in the frame. Okay, I like that. That'll work. That'll just give a little depth. Without having to do any fussy cutting because there are no dies to these stamps. So Stampin' Up! Does a variety like that. Sometimes there's a die to every stamp, and then there's bundles that have totally different dies from the stamps. So that's when you get the frames and the labels and all of that. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna bring that one in. This one's not gonna show quite as much because I got it, and maybe I can do it like there. Since this is gonna be the focal point, and I'll just do first, second, and third generation on that one. All right, so let's put our ink away. And so that's kind of what we've got going right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put these down on here. So these pieces were 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then I cut these down to about 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. I'm wondering if I want to keep it super clean. Probably. Yeah, I'll just leave them. You could put some ink around the edges if you wanted to, or draw some lines around the edges. And remember, if you mess up, you can use that cardstock as on the other side. And I think I'll I think I'll pop all of them up. It'll add some depth to the. So, doesn't that look like a picture frame just up on the wall? That's kind of what I was going for and thinking of. And I was kind of thinking I could spread it out a little bit like this. So you won't see much of that torn paper, but a little bit will sneak out right there and there. And I thought about that when I decided I wanted to tear it. Do I need to do that? But at least you'll see that up there. We can even bring them in a little bit more if you wanted to. All right. So this is kind of where we're going with this. Now I want to try to bring in, I may not do the jute today. I may use more of that on um, Friday. Let me bring in those colors to kind of see so I can kind of decide whether I want to do any of this or not. So we've got all the 5 colors in the InColor collection. I can see those being really pretty on here though. So I'm thinking, I wonder if maybe I don't do these today, but I do this. Let me see. I'm just wondering, look how thick it is. It is so thick. And so on Monday, I actually untwisted it and did these we might do that with this. It's very fibrous, so you'll see all these little the fuzz. I might do that same thing. Let's see here. I'm wanting to wrap it around. I'm thinking I might see if I can wrap it around with this, and that might get both of them in there. And maybe just tie a knot and not do a bow. Let me see how long I've got that going so far. I'm just going to do a 12-inch piece. I'm going to do a 12-inch of this as well, ish. And then so I'm not super crazy about it this thick. So I twisted it kind of backwards so that you could start to see those threads. And you can see a little bit, you've twisted it enough. I'm struggling this time. See, like that. Once you can get it kind of like that and grab those pieces, and you can kind of pull. You just want to be careful so you don't get a knot going or you can't get it out. I think I just want one piece right now. So we'll do that. Well, it'll just take, if I do, I'll have one for each frame if I just do it like this. Okay, we've got all those. Just trying to blow fuzzies off. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. I'll do this one first. I'm just thinking of coming kind of low down here and trying to tie it. If I can bring it all together. Right about where the stem is, and then just tie a knot. What you think? I think I like that. So you get both the textures in there. And we'll do that on each one. And then we'll just try to position it maybe so that you can see. And I may not do maybe I'll do it and then just do the ribbon over here on both sides. Okay, so I need 2 more 12-inch, that ribbon. All right, and we'll do that on the other two. So just, you don't have to try real hard, but just try to have it kind of on the outside and then flip it over. You need to put some tape around the back. I'm going to go about the same place on each one. I'm going to do it over on this side since this side's going to be covered up with the other frame. Let me see if I can position that one. That one ended up kind of underneath, but well, so did that one, but it ends up showing. All right, that's just going to add some good texture and element to our page. I don't know what I'm doing there. And again, over on this side so that we see the bow, the knot. You don't have to, yeah, and don't pull too hard. Let's see. It's with those cuts inside there. The paper's a little bit thin. Cardstock right here. I'm loving how Stampin' Up is doing. That one kind of twisted up under there, but how they're able to add design and texture into the dies. It just adds so much to your projects with little effort. The dies do all the work for you. All right, so there's all of that. One second. Got kittens whining at the back door. All right, so now let's go through. I'm going to use these first because these are all my pieces that I didn't use on Monday. So these will probably get used on Friday. That'll be my goal anyways. And we need the title, which again, I have to look one more time. A bowl full of memories. Is that right? A bowl full of memories. So let's see what we can pull out of here real quick. I'm going to move all this out of the way. We can B-O. I'm going to move out the ones that I don't think I'll need. I think we just need one I. Bowl. There's no N. A. M for memories. O is in memories. S. A U for full. No V's. There's an R. We need an R for memories. No V. Y or T's or D's. We'll just work through these. Mem. Yep. I think we have all the O's we need. This could be a W, so that could be for bowl. Memories. Q, S, bowl full of memories. We already got that. Got our R. We need F and L's and E's. Those may be the ones that we can probably get them out of here. There's an E. All right, I think that's all of that. I'm going to put that back in here. Maybe I can come up with a word out of here for Friday. I don't know if I'll use these or not, or just the sentiments in the bundle. All right, so these are the ones that I cut out of the black cardstock that you get in your kit. And there's still plenty of black cardstock where you could cut out more depending on your title. Because, yeah, you may not create the same title that I do. I think I'll just do the same thing. I'm just going to dump it here and and hopefully we can find everything we need in this. L, I just need F-U, L, and then some E's. Let's see. I think. And if I only need one or two, I need two, I need one L, one F, and this reminds me of that meme where it shows all the letters. There's another E, got our E. It's like you've got your title, how you wish life would be, and then this is how life actually is. So let's see if we can get the F and the L. Where, oh, where? We can always, I'm going to keep this handy because maybe I'm kind of certain we'll find an F and an L. Surely we will in here. It'll probably be at the very bottom. There's an L. Does anybody see the F? Where's the F? That's all I need is an F. Nope, that's not it. Lots of L's. Got those already. A bowl full. Ooh, I need OF too. Of. I need two F's. Oh, we may be having to cut two F's, or we will just use these two E's. Yeah, because I don't see, I must have used the F's on the other bunny. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't see any F's. So we're going just to snip off that little part, and you'll never know. All right. Thank you. Yes, Rhonda, I figured that out right at the end. All right, so then now here we can just do a little surgery. If I can find my scissors. Hello, scissors, where are you? I may have to grab some different ones. Oh, there are my scissors. Okay. This is why sometimes it's better to be prepared ahead of time. All right, I'm just going to, I think that's gonna work. I feel like if I do it backwards. That'll work. It's a little thinner on the bottom than the actual F, I think, but let me clean that up just a teeny bit more, maybe. Hope I don't mess it up. Can't get that little piece off right there. I may have to sand it a little bit or something. Okay, so now let me see if I can get all these back in here. Perfect. Almost. I'm gonna hold everything down. All these fuzzies bug me. All right. So now let's go ahead and we've got that pretty much figured out. We'll get that down in 1 second. We can put these down. I'm going to use some of my foam tape. It's a little bit more cost effective when I want to use more. I think I'll just put two on the back of each one. A bowl of memories, that's good too. Yeah, I might just do that. Great idea, Flo. because the word fool is not really necessary. Look at all that. Yeah, that's all from the jute. Okay, but down about 3/4 of an inch, maybe. I'm gonna bring it pretty far over there. I'm gonna do both of these so that this one can can overlap. And may have put too much tape down. Position that one about the same. May have to remove a little tape right here. May not be too difficult. I'm going to pull up a little bit. May need a little bit on each end. I just need a tiny bit right there, I guess. Perfect. Okay. So just remember that. And then I think I'll just try to center it right here. All right. I don't want to blow because then I'll blow my title. So, a bowl of memories. What do y'all think? Is everybody? I could put of. I'm going to do this other F because I did a better job. I like that. Thank you, Flo. I'll put those back in. And then we'll end up centering this right in here somewhere. All right. Let's see how far it's kind of tacked down already. So we'll push those up just a little bit more. Let me get my silicone mat. And then and my adhesive. I haven't done anything with the corrugated thing yet, and I kind of want to, so we may have another piece coming from behind the photo. I think if I do that, I might just do it in white, just to add a little texture back there. I could put this going over here, and then the white over here, I think. And if I can get it somewhat centered, then with this journaling down here and the title up there. So we'll see. All right, memories. Find it. There we go. Just got to figure where I want to. Okay, this is between like 3 and 9. That's centered right there. So I could do my. And it's going to be about right there, I think. Okay, that's where we're going. If you want to draw a pencil line, you can definitely do that. Let me push that in, make sure I want this to be about center right there. Okay. Just lightly lay it down in case you need to lift them up to move them. Okay. What do y'all think about those colors? A little unusual. I wouldn't necessarily choose that. I'm just trying to. This is what I like though about my Scrap and Create kit because I'm limiting myself to some products. It's kind of like creating your own, do it this way, creating your own kit. And let me see if how these are going to fit on here real quick. If it's going to be a box. Do have to do a little bit of spacing right there so you can read the words. Yeah, I think it's going to fit just perfect right in there like that. Okay, a bowl full of memories. Now, I didn't do any splattering yet. How about we do that before we put any, well, we can put the title down. I can move all of this and you won't see the color. If we put a little bit of splattering over here on this side. All right, so I think I'll line this up so it's all like kind of just a boxed title. So we'll do the A there and the F above the S. Ah, you're right. Good 70s vibe. So good. There's a whole another theme there you could do with some old 70s pictures. And I think those colors are in that collection of products, the boho vibes that I did for the on stage. You're right, Debbie. Thanks for pointing that out. That's awesome. Similar colors. Probably, no, yeah, because these are going to be retired. So they're Cajun Craze. I think it was Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze and maybe Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry were that's what's in the um, Boho Vibes collection that's coming out. All right, and then I can do a little space right there. So all kinds of cool memories that you could, um, if you have photos from back then. I'm fortunate enough that I have a ton of photos because my parents, both of them, loved taking pictures from the time I was a baby. I have pictures of myself growing up, and I could scrapbook my whole entire life, y'all. Like literally from the time I was, oh, a couple of days old to today. Okay, a bowl full of memories. There we go. So I'm going to move this out of the way and let's do a little bit of splattering. And I'm going to try to protect my space because I didn't do a very good job when I did it on Monday. And I think this is so cool that you can do this with the Stampin' Blends. So you want the brush tip, and then you can just hit it like that. Look at that. I just love this. So I'm going to do some copper clay. It's kind of just, you can go further over here if you want. Now I can blow off all that fuzz. And then I'm going to do that was the dark copper clay. And then I'll do the dark wild wheat as well. So we'll actually have two colors when I'm having to hit a little bit harder. Okay, you can't really see it so much here. I'll see if I can, let me see if you can see the colors barely down there in the corner. So maybe I'll do it a little bit more, kind of like right on the edge. Sorry, it's loud, but there. I don't have the pebbled path. I don't know if it has Stampin' Blends or not. All right, so now we can bring this in. And I'm going to attach this to this. So to do that, I'm going to line it up. Actually, what I want to do is there's already a little adhesive there from when I ran it through my printer, but I'm going to put some more just right there at the top. Okay, so you have some adhesive right up here. Then you're going to line up that piece with your photo. And then you can press this down. And so now all of this is attached. Okay, and we can put it right down here. Now I will come in later to put in probably another photo, maybe just the big bowl of ramen is probably what I'll do because I think I took a picture of my ramen. Okay, and then I want some of this in the background and this down here. Now I do want to I want to bring it in the corrugated cardstock. So let me find my scrap of, that's not what I want, I don't think. I've used a lot of my white already, so let me see. I'm going to pull in a little bit more. And Christine, who was with us on Monday, she made a good point that if you want your corrugated piece to be a certain size, then you might want to cut your paper like a 1/4 inch bigger because it will shrink up a little bit. So I'm going to do 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So then it'll be about 4 by 6 once I run this through here. Move this out of the way for the moment. And I'll bring in my stamp and my cut and emboss machine. Not stamp, or stamping. Yeah, I guess it is. And then I need plates 1 and 4 because this is a 3D embossing folder. These are the plates that you'll want to use. And let's see here. I think I'm going to do it. Well, that's a little bit too long, so maybe I can't do that. I can do it that way. All right, it's gonna poke out there a little bit, so maybe it's gonna have to be 6 inches anyways. I'm gonna have to cut it off. So put that on your plate number 1, put your plate number 4 over top to sandwich in that folder. Yeah, because I think this is a 6 by 6 folder. So the only other option I would have would be like to move it down and then run it through again. I'm not going to do that though. And it actually, look, it tore the paper a little bit. So that's okay. I'm going to cut this off as long as it doesn't go all the way through. So maybe when it does that, maybe spritz your paper with a little bit of water. And that's perfectly fine for what I'm going with. and it'll make your fiber softer so that it won't tear or crack. Okay, project. But I don't mind on what I'm doing here because it's going to be kind of in the background. Just bringing in some more texture. Maybe kind of do it. I may push it to where it's hidden behind there and coming out like that. Kind of like a fan. Oh my gosh, y'all. Could have totally done a cool fan over here, or you could do it behind here. Hmm. Now I have an idea. Hey, here we go. Watch this. Okay, this is a 4 by 6, 1.5, 3. And I divide it up into, no, can I divided it up into, let me see here, 1.25, that'd be 2. Hmm, I may not worry so much about I'll get it close. We'll do, I do 1.25 and 1.25. So I'll do a little bit more. I'll do 1 3/8. That was almost the right, but look, that's fine. They don't have to be exactly the same. I'm going to do the same right here, even hopefully this will all stay together kind of. I'm going to make a fan. Yes, another texture. How cool is that? That's I'm going to do that as the middle one. So this is what I'm thinking. Let's do, may only need 2 of these. And I could bring in the other to come around over here. So maybe I'll just do those. Or what if I do just 2 of these? We'll get this other one. Kind of like this. Let me put this in behind it. Not on top. They don't even have to be lined up necessarily. Just kind of looking. I'll squeeze it in a little bit more and then layer this on top. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's just different. Okay, so these are gonna go down first. That's the skinny one, so I'm gonna do this one. And they're gonna go in the back. Just wanna make sure they're not more than 4 inches wide. Coming out like right in there. I think I will make them a little off, like up and down, up and down. Okay. And then I can pop this up, I think. Yeah, don't even, no, I'll put it flat down. So we'll put, so we have our adhesive strip here. We need to, it's got to stick to something. And then this is where we can bring it down. Make sure I have enough room for my, okay, I'm gonna trim off the top of this right up to the words. I could go ahead and trim the bottom too. You're not gonna hardly see this at all. The because it's a clear label. I've shown this several times, but in case you're watching for the first time, this is what I'm using that I got off of Amazon. And there's, yeah, there's a, okay, I want to make sure my hands are clean, no oils or dirt on your fingers. Pull that off. I'm going to lift it up and then try to line it up with this down here, also centered. And once it's down, it's not coming up. So then you just have to peel it kind of like this. Some of that splatters in the background. Let's get this straight up here again so y'all can see. All right. We got some of all the elements. Now we can add a little bit more color by bringing in the gems. And I think we'll be done. So I'm just going to use these two colors right here. Well, I could use the pebbled path too. So let me see. Maybe I could just do a combination of all of them. And then maybe bring some up here. Same thing. I'll do the copper clay more toward the top. Pebbled path. And then the wild wheat. That may be all we need. I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. I mean, you could add some more in here, but maybe I'll do some right here because then that'll bring the eye over here. Okay. So if I do flipped up bunny. Yeah. All right. We might have a visitor. I've got such a mess going on over here to my right. The cats have been laying all over it. I've got to clean it all up. Just notebooks and papers and Mr. Peanut looks like he wants to come. Come on. He's like, I'm thinking twice about that. Got a lot going on over there, girlfriend. All right. Whoa, I just almost stabbed myself. Let me pull this out of the way. There we have our bowl of memories. Thank you, Flo. Oops, I never did do that, but oh well, I guess I'll work on that. I think we've got plenty going on here, and it's really not going to work with you could have come out from the back here. That would have been kind of cool, but we're done. We are done. I don't even know where my stamp set is at the moment. So I'm going to lay it right there. All right. So bowl full of memories. I've got my kind of an overview of what I shared more in depth in my journaling here about making ramen at home, about us going out and spending quality time together at ramen restaurants, and about just that particular day, spending time with Bevyn, really focusing on her and letting her, giving her the opportunity to share about her hopes and dreams for her future. She'll be graduating in May. Y'all, I can't believe it's a month and a half away. Wow, that's just crazy. All right. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate your help. And join me for Friday for our Feel Good Friday live with Pamela, where I'll be creating two fun fold cards. And I have a really cool one that I'm going to do. I will do a simple one at first and then a much more in-depth one on the second card, inspired by Elizabeth Price and her it's actually similar to her paper pumpkin creatives project from the PDF for March 2025. I just loved her design. I got to proofread her PDF and I was like, I am going to make something similar on my Feel Good Friday. All right. Thanks, everyone. Hope you'll have a wonderful day and hope to see you Friday. If not, have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.